I was here long before you, and I
right.
will be here long after you.
Okay.
I am the OG at this. There was only one person who was here before me, and that was Brendan Cooney.
Oh, I thought he was about to say God. He's ramping up to it. There was one man before me, and that man was the Lord, your Savior God, and he shall return when I perish. This cyberbullying culture is out of control. Leave Mao's Rebel News alone. Left book losers. Wait, that's me. That's a picture of Lance. I'm gonna put it on the big screen here. It says the cyberbullying is out of control. Leave Maoist Rebel News alone. Left book losers. Surf fans organizing to deplatform Jason and Unruhe. Oh yeah, you're all so excited. Look at you, thrilled to see me go down the rabbit hole. This isn't even a program that has content anymore. Can already hear people laughing. Okay, so Caleb and Jason are at it again. This one is interesting to me. I know that this exists, but I just haven't seen it, so this will be cute. I'm going into this nude, as they say. I'm also going to check out Jason. So, I am blocked by Caleb Open. I don't have the pleasures of being able to see what he writes and or says to me on the Twitter, so I'm currently using a private browser, not for the purposes of pornography, mind you. Okay, we're not going to sin and enjoy the carnal pleasures of the secular flesh. Today, we're going to explore what exactly is going on behind the scenes. And it would appear that Caleb Team Open is saying, this cyberbullying culture is out of control. Leave Maoist Rebel News alone, left book losers, and the surf fans are organizing to deplatform me. And are you saying the same thing, I assume? Why the fuck are surf fans now claiming I'm an anti-masker? Okay, so I don't know what to say about this other than this is delusional. I have never once told any of my fans to go after anyone, ever. I've never once claimed that Jason and Unruhe is an anti-masker. I've never said that. If he is, that's news to me, but okay. Is it just that anyone who attacks you now, you're just going to consider part of the Serfs community? Is that it? I don't know. You know what? Rather than reading into this, why don't we do a little investigating, and let's see what Jason has to say. My biggest hope in all of this is going to be that we get to hear the opening sequence. Like, sometimes he doesn't put it in. Sometimes there's no pageantry. I want his opening sequence. It's the best part about his whole show. Well, that and the costumes. He does have some fantastic costumes. Yes! Yes!
It has come to my attention that fans of the Serfs have created a Facebook group in order to coordinate trying to deplatform me over various accusations which were made in the Serfs video about me, which are completely false. Ooh. And many of them misrepresent things that I've actually said.
Okay.
Now I'm going to give the Serfs the benefit of the doubt and that they're not actually leading this in trying to get other leftists deplatformed.
Oh, thank you.
But I certainly have my suspicions.
Oh.
As usual, they're taking the opportunity to slander anyone who doesn't like them, anyone who doesn't agree with them. Thus far, in every attempt the Serfs have made to attack me, they've resorted primarily to calling me names, misrepresenting things that I've said, or attack me for for positions that I don't hold. And
so, just so everyone's clear on the timeline in this whole thing, in this fun little back and forth we're having, I had no idea who Jason was. I just absolutely no idea who he was. It became news to me one day when someone's like, "Hey, someone made a video on you." So he drew First Blood, just so everyone knows. I mean, I know the Rambo titles are confusing. There's like, what, First Blood Part 2 or something like that. But anyways, he drew literal First Blood. He just made some video on me because I had said and made some comments about tankies. So that alone was like an affront to all tankies, to everyone who stood proud in the Battle of Stalingrad. And they've existed since then. They've existed for some time now. They're kind of like a Borg-like substance. Anyways, he got really upset about that, made a video about me where, again, the whole thing was name-calling. This is strange. Where he said I didn't have the bare basic balls to hold up my positions, that I was too young, I was almost fetus-like, I think, something to that effect. Anyways, that was the start of our little back and forth, just in case anyone's not clear on that.
The same reason they refuse to actually debate me if they've actually got a problem.
I've made that offer so many times. It's just over and over again. I'll say it again because I'll put this video up on YouTube. Hi, Jason. I would like to debate you anytime. You name it when you'd like to do this. Pick your topics. We'll get it ready. We'll set it up. We'll have a grand old time. So yes, my email is at weareserfs.com. You can email me there. I have not blocked you. I have not muted you on Twitter. So you're welcome to communicate with me on that platform as well. The offer is well open anytime you would like. There you go.
Now, one of the things that they did was misrepresent my video about Peter Coffin. I was not defending Peter Coffin's position on anything whatsoever. I was merely saying that if somebody didn't like what Peter Coffin was saying, come up with a rational argument, rather than just resort to harassment and name-calling, which is something that I have already criticized the serfs in the past for doing. They don't come up with rational arguments. They just insult people and think that's doing work. Now, I think it's very funny that they would accuse me of being the white leftist, when, literally speaking, my anti-colonialism series is better than everything the serfs has ever done combined.
Oh, that is weird. That is so weird. So, what, did you gain some melanin in the process? How does that work? I have made the greatest anti-colonial series on the internet. +5 melanin. How does this work? I don't get it.
It's kind of hard to claim that the person who supports, anti-colonialism or decolonialism is the white leftist. Given that this kind of subject, anti-colonialism, decolonialism, is something that the serfs themselves, who are white, never touch. So it's rather ironic that they would make that kind of argument. Now, I could point to other things, such as the glowing support that I have received from, former high-ranking Black Panther member Steve Struggle, but that would be like pulling out your token black friend. Something that
you just did it. you can't do it and then backpedal right afterwards. I could tell you about all my black friends who endorse what I do, but that would be like me saying that my black friends endorse me, so don't worry, I won't be doing that right now, but I do have prominent black friends who endorse what I do and or say, so get ready for that. I don't even know where to start with this. I don't like making it a point of conversation to be like, well, yes, my mother is indigenous. My father was born in Santiago, Chile. And yes, I'm as white passing as the next whitey. There's no question about that, sir. I have several videos on decolonization, especially when it pertains to Canadian decolonization. I don't know if I haven't watched this series because it is apparently the best series on the internet. So I didn't know about that. So I should check it out. But I'm gonna guess, and this is terrible for me to do, that some of it has to do with the aspect of China good, USSR good, America bad. Whereas from my perspective, it's always been imperialism of all forms, whether it be American imperialism, whether it be other countries performing imperialism. I'm just not for colonial imperial powers in general. I just don't like it. I think they're all bad. How about no unjust hierarchies? That sounds a lot better.
Now, it's interesting that the crowd of these types of people, the Vosh viewers, the Destiny viewers, the Serfs viewers, spend so much time trying to take down other leftists that
did none of them know that all three of those groups fight each other? Vosh fights Destiny, Destiny fights me, I debate with Destiny back and forth. All those, Destiny is not part of the BreadTube community. They love pointing that. Caleb likes doing that too. This isn't even controversial. I'm not starting any kind of controversy here. Destiny hates the left and the online left, and he says it all the time. He hates BreadTube. He is very, very vocal about that. And that's not me oh shit, Destiny's going to come after me for saying this. You better not clip this, everyone, watch out. No, he'll be yeah, that's entirely accurate, because that's what I say. Those are the words that come out of my mouth all the time.
They don't really put any effort into trying to take down people who are actually homophobic, who are actually transphobic, like Steven Chowder. Steven Chowder's
I'm at a loss for words here. I literally have the most popular video on the internet. I get to say this time because this is real. I have the most popular video on the internet taking down Steven Chowder. It's called Steven Chowder. You can go look it up. It's got almost, I think, over 150,000 views. Now, it's not a lot in the scheme of things, but that's a lot for a video specifically targeting one human being, which is Steven Chowder. And yes, it targets his homophobia. We have several videos on Steven Chowder. At this point, I must have like close to 30. Where are you getting this? This is all made up.
His history of just about basically everything he's ever said. There is a tremendous amount of homophobia and transphobia in his statements, in his videos, in his actual positions.
I agree.
Yet they dedicate no effort whatsoever to trying to get rid of someone who's so overtly ex-phobic that they focus their attention on someone like me who is actually none of these things. It's just that I've called out many of the people on their liberalism. And that is something that I have done. The bread tube type radlibs who like to pretend to be socialists, who pretend to be leftists, like the serfs. Okay. So I leave this message to the people who are organizing against me, and I'm sure the serfs themselves have absolutely nothing to do with it. Okay. I was here long before you, and I will be here long after you.
Okay.
I am the OG at this. There was only one person who was here before me, and that was Brendan Cooney.
Oh, I thought he was about to say God. He's ramping up to it. There was one man before me, and that man was the Lord, your Savior God, and he shall return when I perish.
He disappeared off the face of the earth. So just remember that I have been here through 12 years, being called much worse by much better people than yourselves. And thus far, none of you have been able to take me down. And none of you have ever been able to rationally debate like an adult. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running.
Yeah, I almost want to donate so I can get in the credits at the end as what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so where's the link to this supposed Facebook group? Because, like, I would like some receipts. Apparently there's a Facebook group that has been started by Serfs fans. And if any of you out there started a Facebook group to take down Jason Unruhe, all I have to say to you is, why would you spend time doing such a thing? Facebook, why platform old, like, I don't get it. It was you. Oh, it was you. Okay. Well, someone just sent me right now saying, hey, I have a link to, I think, what he's talking about. All right, let's see this. Communists against Jason Unruhe. 689 people like this. The PKK are reform, sock them, labor rights scum. I'm not going to lie. I feel like he made this. I feel like this is kind of like to justify his grandeur, right? Like, it's not just that he is one of the greatest leaders of all time and that he's been here before all of us and he will be here after us, of course. He's the alpha and the omega. He is all. But I'm not homophobic. I only use the word F in private conversations. Show me when I've said something homo. Okay, so I'm guessing this is what it is. This is the only thing that would make sense to me. Yeah, this ain't me, dog. This is 100% not me. You might notice that I don't use the hammer and sickle branding in anything I do, mainly because I find it's usually associated with Stalinism rather than communism. I have no problem with communism the concept, communism the theory. I think it's actually beautiful, the moneyless, classless, stateless society. I have a problem when people associate the historic use of, say, Maoism or Stalinism and actually do apologia for either of those, let's say, authoritarian regimes. That's what I have a problem with. So you would never find any of this iconography getting anywhere near me. So no. Yeah, I'm typically an out and proud democratic socialist in that I want the workers to own and control the means of production. That way they're not being exploited by capitalists and the capitalist class. That's my whole shtick, and that's what I'm trying to push forward. But yes, I have absolutely 100% nothing to do with the Facebook group Communists Against Jason Unruhe. I don't know who did create it, and if I was to create or maybe make some kind of a, I don't know, tinfoil hat-like scenario here, I'm going to guess it was Jason. I'm going to guess it was Jason who did this, because this seems like it justifies having this whole, I don't know, witch hunt happen against you. By the way, this page was created in September 25th, 2014. I was not an internet figure in 2014. I think the earliest our podcast started up was 2017. That's when me and Dave started doing it. Maybe it was even 2016 was the earliest, but 2017 is probably when we started our podcast. So yeah, this has been around for a while. Kind of like you. Because you just said you've been around for very long and you're going to be around until the end of time, essentially. So that would make more sense. I mean, I'm not doing too much investigations until we have all the evidence, but yeah. But this is weird for a number of reasons. The other one being that what's going on with Caleb Mopin? Why is Caleb Mopin suddenly like, these attacks must stop? Oh, Dead Man Animations. That's too bad. I like Dead Man. Support Jason, the principled Marxist. Only a psychopathic lunatic would support anti-maskers like Jason. Less than 30 seconds in, I can already see his ugly face because there's no mask covering it. Principled my ass. Super spreader, more like it. Oh no. Oh no.
Hey, we want to mutual aid you to get some eyeballs on your work. So if you have a leftist YouTube channel or Twitch stream or something you want us to advertise, just send us a 20 to 30 second ad using the forums at weareserfs.com. We'll do our best to help you out. And please submit once per channel.
To our gods, Unruhe, Xander Quarters, we shall build temples in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we live to do your bidding. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Steven, Nine Tails Cosmic Fox, Hans Josephine, Poppy Nelson, Ryan Lubin, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr., we bow meekly for your pleasure. And to our Knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Veit, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Ali Menthal, Jimmy Big Nuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Joppy, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Jack Darko, Thomas Barrington, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ramon Acosta, and Ali Retta Jaffer. We salute you. Love you all. Peace.